Hello, hello, hello. I may or may not have been playing Innocence R for the past, like, 3 hours. I think I'll be able to finish that game later today. I'm enjoying playing it again, especially since it's in English. It's a really enjoyable game. And I never did any of the post-game stuff, so... It's nice. Get a little LMBS action before, the Rise kills it off for good. So I applied for the key, so hopefully I get that. Get my 10 minutes of gameplay on this. Hey, that's Hannah, I think. Yeah. Updates coming out on this in like 2 days. Try to get as many memories as I can. This event's been going on way too long. This event's been going on for like over a month. I wouldn't say the game's been boring, it's just that there's not really much point in doing anything else besides the weekly stuff, so the game's kind of been, for the past few weeks, it's been just log on and kill one of 2 bosses and just max out Alpha and then just try to power up everybody else, and I'm in the latter phase right now. At least it's painless. Hopefully the next event does not last as long. As I fully resonated this character. Now I need to focus on the rest. I'm dead. Should get at least one more 6-star today. I got one other character optimized, which is pretty good. I've got like 4 or 5 of them optimized, except for the weapons. I'll probably try to cash to get their weapons later on. What's up, Sae? How you doing? I've been playing Innocence R all day, so I've been neglecting the service games. Actually, no, I did some Tales of the Rays today. I did some of that. I'm gonna check out the KOF update just to try to see if I can at least try out the new characters. I haven't really wanted to play that game much at all. Actually, not at all. I haven't touched that game in quite some time. Pretty much since this came out, when I quit. Can't keep up with. It's called Linear Motion Battle System because... I know you don't play Tales, but it's called Linear Motion because you're always on a line with the enemy, meaning that even in the games that have like free run and stuff, when you stop running, the game creates a line and it basically becomes like a 2D fighting game. That's what LMBS means. And we've gone like 3 games without the LMBS, and all of them have been janky and not as satisfying in their own way. That's why it's called linear motion battle system. Also getting rid of bosses staggering too, so a lot of the elements of the LMBS are kind of being removed. Yes, that's why it's called linear motion battle system. Basically means that you're always on a line with the enemy. The game is creating a line even though it's in a 3D space. In the recent games, you're always still on a line with the enemy. Yeah, it's kind of English, but it does make sense when you think about it. It's the easiest way to describe the old style games. Everything Heartsar and before that. Everything prior to Heartsar except for Graces is LMBS. Well, Graces is kind of LMBS, but that's up for debate. If Graces is LMBS or not. They've been using the LMBS since Fantasia. It's just it still stuck around when they went 3D. They started using 3D models and full 3D movement and stuff. Because the core gameplay mechanics are the same. Oh man, Aspel's fighting style though. His fighting style is legit. But I also played through that game in Japanese back when it came out on the Wii, so I skipped a lot of the cutscenes. The Wii version was basically just a beta anyway. It did the same thing with Vesperia. Basically flipped off everybody who paid full price for that game. Like, no, we're gonna put it on PS3, and it's gonna have like all this new content, and we're not gonna release it here. And by the way, it's Japan only, so have fun with that. It's not that I don't like the battle system, it's that I don't like that they are removing what makes Tails Tails, and that's what bothers me. And their attempts at trying to get away from the LMBS have not really worked that well. Zestiria was a janky mess. Berseria was fun. I liked Berseria enough to beat it a couple times, but it still didn't feel as good as an LMBS game. I feel like they need to just stick with it. Because now the game plays like everything else, and that's what bothers me the most. It looks and plays like every other action RPG on the market. Like, all of them look the same, and they play the same now, and that's what bothers me. It's not the fact that they're changing things, it's that they're changing things in a way that's making the series lose its identity. And that's what I don't like, as somebody who's been around since Fantasia. I played Fantasia when I was in, like, middle school or high school. Back when I found a ROM for that way back then. I've been around since the beginning, and that's why I'm more critical of it. It's just they've tried to break away from the LMBS numerous times, and it's never really worked that well. Zestiria was horrible to play. I couldn't even finish that game. I gave it a couple hours, and I just rage quit. I thought it was terrible. I sure like transforming into a Super Saiyan fusion Dragon Ball thing, and then you only have like 3 moves. I don't know. I think the full game will be a lot better, even if it doesn't get modded like crazy. I think it will be a lot better. I mean, one of my biggest complaints about the demo was that you had all these aerial moves and you had no way to cancel out of them. So you get locked in an animation and then hit because the boss doesn't react to anything. But it's already been confirmed that there's going to be an aerial dodge, so I just didn't feel like playing a demo enough. I got the hang of the battle system. I'm not going to lab out a game that hasn't really given me the best first impression when it's already confirmed that the full game is going to be a lot better. Even if the combat remains the same jank, it's still going to be better. There's going to be more abilities and stuff. There's probably going to be more mechanics later on. All of those things will help tremendously. Tales games just don't really have good demos most of the time. Most of the times they have really bad demos. If the air dodge is character specific, then they have no interest in making a good battle system. That's basically all I have to say on that. Yeah, I wish the people leaking that game would talk about the mechanics. I don't really give a shit about the story. Especially for a game I might not even like. I'm like, leak the gameplay. The problem is XX Deathlord XX69420 is not going to really care about the gameplay. I'm just going to brag that they got the game early. Usually when people get games early, they don't even really know how to play, so getting any kind of detailed analyses on the gameplay is it's a pipe dream. It was the same way when Kingdom Hearts came out. Kingdom Hearts 3. Somebody leaked that game like weeks in advance. And they were just like button mashing. If you're into the mechanics, then it was worthless. That's exactly the problem, Lightside. It's the same damn thing as everything else. Like, Tales, despite how long it's been around, has consistently stayed unique. And now you're taking that uniqueness away to make it like everything else. And that just doesn't fly with me, personally. Yeah, that Relink game has been vaporware forever. That's been vaporware for ages. That game is the epitome of vaporware. Surprised they haven't just said, like, it's not coming out. I think Platinum did the combat and then they just left for some reason. I don't know. They said their quote was like their work is done on it, which is weird. It's like, did you pull a Final Fantasy remake and just like scrap everything they were doing, or you just took the combat and somebody else is making the rest? Don't you love when they announce games like 5 years before they're ready? I'm getting old, so I get tired of it personally. You don't even have the game like playable or like past an alpha state. Don't announce it. It's starting to get annoying. It really is. I haven't been following that game though at all. Kind of glad I haven't been because it's still vaporware.
You shall die.
Bayo 3 is not happening until there's a more powerful Switch. I guarantee you that's why that game's not out yet. That's the only reason. That game's gonna stay vaporware.
Slay all.
Virgil feels kind of janky in this game. Need to get better with him. Well, that's what happens when you announce a game when it's barely in development and then the hardware is too weak to handle it. The Switch hardware sucks. You should not have announced that game. It's just crappy hardware. It can't handle a game like Bayonetta. And at the same time, they can't like say it's not coming out to Switch because that implies that there's going to be an upgrade at some point. Which of course there will be. Why would there not be? But the Switch still moves a lot of copies, so they don't want to come out and say it, even though it's painfully obvious. I really don't think they can go on with the current Switch much longer. I think it's reaching its breaking point. It really is. They really are at the breaking point. I mean, when your console can like barely run an indie game, there's something wrong there. And that's kind of the point they're at right now, is it's struggling to run like pixel art indie games now. Let alone something like Breath of the Wild or Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Like, Age of Calamity is a good game. It's actually a pretty good example of what a Musou game should be, but the hardware just completely ruins it, at least for me. The hardware just sucks. Nintendo really needs to get with the times. You know, they have, like, the best IPs in the world, the best first-party support in the world, but the hardware really does hold them back, and it's weird how people like to push this agenda that the hardware doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, it does matter. It actually matters quite a bit. It matters more than it doesn't matter. I tried to like that game, James. I tried to like that game, but I felt sick playing it, so I stopped. I don't really have much to say about it other than that. I tried to play it. I really tried to like that game, but I don't like feeling sick over a video game. I really don't. And the rest of the game is pretty solid, but when it runs at like 10 FPS all the time, I just can't take it. My eyes can't take it. It's actually pretty unacceptable that it's that laggy. I will play that game again when they make a Switch 2 and they do like a 60 FPS patch. Or it gets emulated at 60 FPS on Yuzu. That's when I'll play that game. Especially since I paid full price for that shit and I can't play it. It runs like poop. Well, yeah, not everybody can handle terrible frame rate games. Some people can. And I'm jealous of those people. So many games last gen ran like shit. But I can't do it. I played that game for a couple hours and my stomach started churning and I felt really nauseous. I had to stop. The low resolution and the frame rate, it did a number on my eyes and my stomach. I'm like, alright, I have to stop playing this. Nintendo is too big on gimmicks, but it works because they have such amazing franchises that Sony and Microsoft just can't possibly match. No matter how many studios they buy, they cannot match Nintendo. The problem is that the last couple gimmicks have not been good. The Wii U, the gamepad was really hard to repair. It wasn't good quality and it was too big. It wasn't really, it wasn't a good gimmick at all. You know, the Wii before that had the motion controls, but it was not, the controller was pretty bad for anything that wasn't a gimmick game. Or something designed by Nintendo. Everything else you needed a classic controller, pretty much. And it kind of, I think they really doubled down on the gimmicks with the Wii. How many times do I need to waggle the remote to do something when I could just push a button? It's one thing if it's like Wii Fit or like Ring Fit Adventure, where there's like an actual physical benefit to doing it, but in the games it was just normal games. It was like, why do I need to do this? It's just making me tired faster. If I want to work out, I'll go exercise. I'm trying to relax and play a game. I don't need to be dick-waggling the remote. And then the Switch, the problem is, you know, the Joy-Cons are nice on paper. The fact that you can have wireless controllers and you can set up a dock, you know, a little stand for it, and you can play a game with somebody anywhere, no matter where you are, is really nice. But the Joy-Cons are shit, and they're the worst controllers that Nintendo has ever put out in their 35-year history. They've been doing this for close to 40 years, and those are the worst controllers they put out. It's unacceptable that... You know, I don't really play my Switch more than the average person, especially lately now that I have the phone. And the phone can run like almost everything the Switch can, but better. But when I was playing it actively, I wasn't playing it more than the average person. And I've been through like 4 sets of Joy-Cons. It's unacceptable. It's like, I think it's actually worse than the 360 Red Ring, because they actually fixed that by this point. You know, they put out the Jasper chipset for the Xbox. You know, so it's really only a problem if you still had the old one, but they had to repair them for free because they lost the lawsuit. The Joy-Cons are worse. Those things cannot withstand any punishment. Just playing casually, like 1 to 2 hours a day, those things will give out in you in a few months. And depending on what kinds of games you play, the drift can make it unplayable. Can you imagine playing like this game on Switch with the Joy-Con drift? You would go the completely wrong direction, probably get killed for it. Imagine how much of a nightmare it would be to play this game of all things on there. Yeah, they go all in on graphics and the games suck to play. That's the problem. You see the games I play, I don't need super high-end graphics. I definitely like the performance more. I don't need 4K 60. I'm fine with 1080p 120. I'm totally fine with that. You know, if my rig can handle it, that's what I'm gonna go for. Last good gimmick Nintendo did was the dual screens. That actually was a pretty good gimmick. There were a lot of games that were really improved by it. The Metroidvanias, for one. Having the map on the screen all the time, and not having to pause. That was a huge change. You know, if you're not good at handling directions, or you get lost easily, that was huge. A lot of other games too, you had like you know, touchscreen item use and stuff. Like, that was actually a pretty good change. There were a lot of games that really made use of that, but that was pretty much the last gimmick they did that actually was useful and wasn't just, we're trying to get around the fact that our hardware sucks. With gimmicks. They've had this problem since the Wii, I'd say. The GameCube was like the last time they really competed in terms of power. GameCube generally had a lot of the best versions of cross-platform games. It's just that the controller was shitty, and well, the controller was shitty for anything that wasn't like Smash Brothers or Mario. When you're playing like a game designed for the other platforms on there, it was dreadful. Because that controller was a mess, and it was too heavily weighted on just playing first-party games on it. Anything else was shit. But the GameCube actually could stand up. It actually was stronger than the PS2. But ever since then, everything else they've done has been, their hardware has sucked. And it's really impacted the kinds of games that can be on it. You know, they have like Resident Evil on there and stuff, but it's all... and Hitman 3, but it's all streaming the game, which is useless. I don't want to pay to stream the game. I can buy the game on Steam and stream it from my phone for free. I'm not going to pay you $30 for a cloud version that looks like shit and is probably laggy. You guys see me stream from my computer over at my kitty sitting job, and yeah, sometimes it's really laggy and unplayable, but how much did I pay for it? Nothing. The only thing it cost me is time and frustration. I'm not gonna pay for a cloud version of a game, even if it's like a really sought after game, like a Resident Evil game, or like Devil May Cry, or Phantasy Star or something. I'm not paying for that. Either get the game to actually run on the hardware natively, or just, I'm not going to play it at all. Plain and simple. Yeah, the GameCube controller it's only good for first-party stuff, and that's a problem. When it actually, that was the last time they had hardware that could actually handle modern games. The other platforms probably could have run like Halo and stuff on there just fine. Grand Theft Auto. You know, the big AAA stuff. That controller would have held it back. I'm glad they don't do that anymore, at least. You kind of just have, like, normal controllers now. The Wii did not have a normal controller, and it definitely hurt it. You had to go buy a Classic Controller Pro. Because those games were shit to play on the remote and nunchuck. And the Wii U had that big-ass gamepad that wasn't really a good resolution. It was too big. I know a lot of people had hand problems playing it for extended periods of time. The Joy-Cons are like the best of both worlds. They have the portability and the fact that they're wireless, and that they have button parity with every other platform. It has all of those things going for it, but the durability of it ruins all those other things. I felt like they really did learn from the they really did learn from their mistakes with the Wii and the Wii U and the GameCube. And they just made a normal-ass controller that actually works for, like, most games, but the durability just kills it. It doesn't matter. It's not comfortable to use. I get a ton of cramps using the Joy-Cons, that's why I have the SplitPad Pro. And they can't withstand any punishment. Which is weird coming from Nintendo. Yeah, the Joy-Con is objectively the worst controller they've ever put out. Now, the other controllers all had their problems, or they weren't very ergonomic to use, but those things could take like an anti-tank shot. You could shoot those things with a tank and they would still run. They'd still be fine. It's one thing when it's like something isn't really suitable for a kid, because kids don't tend to take good care of their stuff. I did when I was a kid, but kids were always really destructive with their stuff. But when like an adult in their 30s who doesn't even have that much time to play video games anymore, it's more than like a couple hours a day tops, and the Joy-Cons are drifting in like a month or two of use, you know you fucked up. We've come a long way from the Wii era, where people would throw the remote into their TVs and break it. We've come a long way from that. Now it's like, okay, our new controller can't even handle an adult who actually takes care of their electronics for more than a couple months of casual use. I'm not even talking about, like, playing Smash for 80 hours a day. Just like when people push the agenda that Nintendo doesn't need hardware. It's like, okay, you guys played Age of Calamity, right? How can you say they don't need hardware? Yes, they don't need it as much as their competitors, because they have much better games overall, but I mean, you have a flagship game like Bayonetta 3, which they're publishing, that, like, even though they're not saying anything about it, they keep just saying that its development is going smoothly. It's painfully obvious. It's like the hardware can't handle what they're trying to do with the game. We're approaching the 5th year of the Switch, and it's getting even harder for it to run indie games. That's when you know there's a problem. There's been countless indie games that have been on Switch that have horrendous ports. Like, you're better off just refunding it and playing it on PC. You know, it's not just a AAA game problem, it's actually small stuff too. At least Nintendo is aware that the small games keep them afloat. Celeste and Shovel Knight sold, like, more copies on Switch than everything else, I think. Because those were, like, the only other games out when it came out. They had a bunch of random shovelware, Zelda, and Celeste and Shovel Knight. Switch launch was very barren. I'm glad I did not get mine on launch. I actually had a decent chunk of games to play. I'm not talking about 4K 60 FPS, I'm talking about, like, bare minimum, like, 4K, not 4K 60, but 1080p 60. That should be the bare minimum. I should not have to go on that guy's channel I keep mentioning, the guy that just uploads raw gameplay of the games, frame rate tests and stuff. I should not need to go on that guy's channel for literally everything I buy. I'm smart enough to do that, but most people aren't. And it's not something that should need to be done anyway, especially when it's like something like a pixel art indie game. Somehow they'll still run at 20 FPS and crash. That's all I'm really asking. That's all anybody who's being reasonable and mature about the situation is asking. You're not gonna get 4K out of a hybrid console. Not with the tech we have right now. That's got to be at least like several years away. 1080p 60 on pretty much every game should be the standard for their next hardware. Part of the problem is people don't actually realize that the Switch kind of has the same problem the Vita does, where it's very ahead of its time. It's a very innovative console, but the tech's not really there for them to really make a massive upgrade. It's like just barely got there in like the past year and a half or so, I think, from what I've been reading. And that's part of the problem too. There has to be a chipset that they can put in there that's not going to overheat and have like a 5-minute battery life. It's not going to burn your hands when you use it. It has to be able to play like an actual demanding game for like more than an hour. And then there have to be enough chips to make it too. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually wanted to do the hardware refresh this year, but the whole global chip shortage thing probably made them not do that. That's my theory anyway. There have been some advances in like the mobile chipsets and stuff that they use. where to go. I feel like this level still needs some work. It's too easy to get lost. Maybe I'm just getting bad luck with level chunks or something. Damn, this level is brutal. Let's see if KOF is up. So I actually feel like playing that game for the first time in ages, because I love K-Dash. K-Dash is my homie. If I can just get him just once, because I'm not going to be spending any money on a game I don't play anymore, but... apparently he's got a pretty cool moveset. I just want to try it. I'm hoping the game will at least give me him once. I'll realize that, hey, this guy that used to spend a lot of time and money on this game doesn't play it anymore. And he hasn't for like 2 months. I just want to try out his moveset. Pretty sure I really am just done with this game. I have more interesting stuff to play now. They extend maintenance. You're gonna pull a PSO, and then like right when the hour switches over that it's supposed to go up, they're gonna extend the maintenance 8 hours. New Genesis has done that like 3 times already. People stay up for it every time. I'm like, just go to bed. You're gonna be a zombie by the time it comes up. That's classic PSO2 for you right there. 8-hour extended maintenance. I do not expect the game to be up. Seems like this is a pretty big update. I do want to check it out and see if it maybe makes me want to play this on the side casually again, but I doubt it. I think I just had my fill of this. Glad to have this music back, though. I miss this music. Takes me back. I played this game for what, like 2.5, 3 years? I just haven't really liked the direction it's been going. Busted characters every month. I'm not rich enough to do that. You don't have infinite cash. Right, is this game gonna give me K-Dash? Or am I just gonna continue not playing this? Nah, they're not gonna put this on PC. They're too stubborn to. I don't really think this game's worth getting into anymore. The power creep in this game is out of control. It really is. And that's why I stopped playing it. I couldn't keep up anymore. I don't even know if these characters are going to be good. I wouldn't be surprised if they aren't. They already power crept the game pretty hard with the Dead or Alive characters. Lately, it's been like one power creep and then two crap characters. You know, like they cycle. Let's see who I got. Go away! You got power crept. You're useless. Troll. It was a lot more fun back then. It was a lot less stressful to play back then. This game is really stressful to play now. They've really doubled down on just power creeping the game like every other month. Unless you're like really committed and you have a lot of disposable income, it's just really hard to play this game. That's a shit Sunday right there. I just want to try out K-Dash. And I'm going to continue not playing this game. Come on. More shit. Maybe this is why I don't play this anymore. The rates are horrendous. I'm not even going to get to try out this character, am I? It's not looking like it. And go back to not playing this. Yep. More trash. I love you, KOF All-Star. Never change. This is why I abandoned you. You had to rely on other people to make your profits. More shit. Not one. Not one. This is gonna give me nothing, too. I had to lag. Lag to give me nothing. Alright, last chance. Alright, you got a chance to redeem yourself for your game. Nope. Fuck this game. That's two off-banner ones, which is basically just the game flipping you off. Fuck you for even considering to come back. We're not even gonna let you try the new character. Cough up the money. How about no? Wow. I didn't even get one of them. I got two Fest characters, but they're all trash ones. And they've been power crap. They're not useful anymore. That's about what I expected. That's this game in a nutshell. Horrendous rates, and you need to get you need to get 4 copies of a character for them to be relevant. And getting them once doesn't even mean anything anymore. Yeah, the RNG is horrendous in this game. It's really bad. It definitely was a lot more fun when it came out, full stop. Because you only needed one character. You only needed to get them once. Now you need to get them 4 times. And the rates are hot garbage. You either have to spend money or have like lottery winning tier luck. And those are your options pretty much. How much do you want to spend? Because you can just get stuff. You can just get it guaranteed. But you have to spend a lot of money. I want to see what this does. I'm curious on what this does. So I have a lot of trash in here. Pretty much all this stuff is useless now. That's all you get? Wow, that's garbage. Decreases burn damage by 1%. Wow. Are they out of their minds? Yeah, this game is a lot like... It's not like DFO. DFO to me was a lot more fun when it was a beat 'em up. But then it stopped being a beat 'em up. And when it stopped being a beat 'em up, I kind of lost interest. Can I transcend this again? Well, this game kind of... It really did stop being a beat 'em up after a while. Oh no, I had fun with this game. It kept me occupied during really dry periods like right now. I don't really have anything interesting to play. I'm thankful for that, but I haven't really wanted to play it much. I like Pinnacle of Combat a lot better than this game. I like PGR a lot better, and those games are like more up my alley. It's going to be a lot harder for them to screw those games up because they have a better combat foundation than this does. I'm pretty sure I can stick with those games for a long time. Alright, so let's take one of these busted cards. Which one is really good again? I haven't played this in so long, I don't even remember. Pinnacle is coming to PC? No, they haven't said anything. It's nice that you only need one of these. That's actually pretty cool. Wonder how much of a combat power boost you get off this. The combat power went up 100 points. It's like not much. Alright, I got enough trash cards in here. I want to see what this does. Yeah, this game just got very greedy. And I kind of woke up and realized that I just wasn't having fun playing it anymore. So I moved on. I did wanna check out this update and see if it made things any better. So far, it doesn't really seem like it has. Just want to see how far this goes. How much of an actual change do you get? Look how I did like 50 pulls and I got nothing. That's this game in a nutshell. I'm like, dude, I just wanted to log on and try the character. Check him out. But nope. They don't want me back. lot of this stuff is actually pretty good. I don't want to get rid of super good stuff. Get rid of his. I want to see how far this goes. Probably like level 50 or something. Luckily, this was an endgame account, so I have a ton of resources. Let's see how much of a difference this makes. I do miss the old era of this game, where it actually felt like a beat-em-up. I really do miss that era, but it's not coming back. Once I accepted that, it was a lot easier to quit. The hyper armor bullshit makes more money. Makes a lot more money. It's just not really engaging to me. How far can you go? How far can this go? I've already leveled it up like 5 times. A lot of these are shit, so get rid of them. Especially since I don't play this anymore. Yeah, you can still go. How much power creep do you get? What the hell? I'm morbidly curious. How much farther can you make it go? Yeah, if you want combat and you want a service game, Pinnacle of Combat and PGR are like the best games right now. Nothing else really compares. I loved this game when it came out, it's just I got sick of it. This game has the most insane power creep out of anything I've played. And I've played a lot of service games. Damn, it takes 2 million to level this up? That's crazy. It gives like 2,000 attack now, which is insane. How far can this go? How far can it go? Oh, it can't go any higher. Okay. So that is the max. Level 60. So let's put that on one of my busted characters that I had before I quit. Let's put it on him. Yeah, he doesn't have anything on right now. Holy shit. Wow. No, it doesn't really change anything, though. I will say there's one thing I miss about this game. I miss this. Having like 10,000 stamina. I definitely miss that. I miss that dearly. Because punishing Grey Raven, I can't play that game at all. It blue balls you so much. I like how this game does the stamina better, where it's like, you can play forever, but you're gonna run out of things to do. Well, eventually it's gonna come the time where you're just gonna stop playing. Than how it is in PGR, where it's just, you run out of things too quickly. Pinnacle does not have stamina at all. There's no stamina in that game. It's just there's events. There's dailies that you do that have limits. You can play the story as much as you want. There's no stamina in that game at all. And you also get the Bloody Palace too, which is a couple hours of gameplay by itself. It's actually pretty nice. I'll try 6 more times. I'll try 6 more times to get him. I don't think I have any special stuff in here. It's been so long since I played this. Alright. more troll drops. This fucking game, man. You think they would have some, like... You think they would have some kind of bias towards people who spent a lot of money? Like, played the game for a long time and quit? You think they would have some kind of bias? Like, try to change the RNG so that you get that dopamine and you get addicted again. This game, nope. Nothing. Double Chang. The best of the worst. Oh, man. Wow. No, I just came back to check out this update and I've gotten nothing but garbage, so... Yeah. I'm not coming back to that game. See, that's the kind of shit that reinforces my decision to quit. The fact that I did like 60 pulls and I got absolutely nothing. Fuck that, man. I didn't even get to try out the character. I didn't even care about getting him awakened. I just wanted to try him out. Because I like K-Dash. He's one of my favorite characters. But you guys just saw me try like 60 times and I got nothing. And to make him relevant, I need to get 3 more copies after that, which means swipe your card, open up your wallet. No thanks. Glad I quit that game when I did. I really am. Actually, I have a $5 coupon here. What can I get with that? It's like I don't want to spend a cent on that game. I have a $5 coupon. I'll load the game back up. Maybe they have like a $1 pack or something. So I'm not spending a cent on that game anymore. Tonight was a good example why it's not wise to do that. In the old days, it was more feasible to spend money because you only needed one character. But then they added the awakening system, and now you need like 4 copies to unlock everything. And at the rate that they put out busted characters in this game, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to spend money. I saw that I had a $5 coupon, so it's like, alright, I'll try that. I don't want to spend any money, though. Yeah, this game is bullshit. It really is. I'm glad I don't have the capability to be addicted to these games, and I can stop when I feel like I don't like it anymore. They don't even have a $1 pack. Are you fucking kidding me? They don't even have a $1, like the usual sale that they have. They don't even have that. What? Wow. Does it even let me use the coupon? No, it doesn't. Fuck this shit, man. Wow. Yeah, good luck to people who still play that game, but, I'm done. My journey in that game is over. It's like Batman Beyond when, he has like cardiac arrest when he's trying to fight somebody, and then he pulls out a gun. And he says something he never said he would do, so he just stops being Batman right there. That's where I am with KOF All-Star. I logged on and I tried like 60 times just to try out the character. I don't care about maximizing him. I just wanted to check him out, and I got absolutely nothing. And it gave me the off-banner fest characters too, which is like a double slap in the face. Wonderful 101 remaster. I'm not the person to ask on that game. I hated that game. I couldn't get more than a couple hours into it. I got tired of all the minigames. I really hated playing it. That game is very divisive. Some people say that's like one of the best games they put out, and then other people say that it's insufferable and it's torture to play. I'm definitely the latter. I couldn't stand playing it. It's one too many mini games. Not enough just actually fighting. What is it on sale for? Let me look right now. I know they added like new DLC yesterday, didn't they? Let me check that out. I have the game. I just couldn't stand it. I hated playing it. I couldn't take the gimmicks. There's a fuck ton of minigames. Yeah, you barely fight. It's a minigame like every few minutes. This is a review by somebody who subscribes to me. I recommend reading this review, because it's actually very spot on. And these things may not bother you. I mean, I'll go ahead and post this in here. Those things may not bother you, but, you know, if you want to actually fight stuff, then it doesn't really deliver. Is this really coming out? I've been waiting for this game forever. You know, I'm just gonna pull up their. I'm gonna pull up K-Dash's moves. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna pull up his moves. 'Cause I'm not spending any money on that game anymore. That time has passed. Somebody put up his moves. I'm gonna look for those. I find it. All right, found it. Hold on. Pull it up. I don't have to spend money if somebody else does it. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. No, he still got minute spike. Age trigger, second shoot, I mean. It actually looks pretty boring. Oh, they gave him that. Nah, he looks pretty half-assed. That's it? Alright, let's skip past that one. That's his old one. Old.
行くぜ黒だよ真っ黒行くぞ
Oh damn! Alright, that almost redeems it.
行くぞ
That's actually pretty short though. In that game, that's it's not good for the meta. You need the long supers. He actually doesn't seem that great. He doesn't look like he's that great, actually. All the more reason to not play that game anymore. Yeah, the shorter the super, the worse the character is, because you, all the endgame content, you need the longer supers buy time for your other characters. That's actually really short. That's a lot shorter than, Special Signature Kyo. His super was way longer. That's what made it so broken. It was like 20 seconds or something. 15, 20 seconds. You could get like a almost infinite rotation of supers going. You could clear a lot of the content really easily. He actually, K-Dash actually he looks way worse. I'm actually shocked. He does not really seem like he's worth spending money on. Nothing in that game is really worth spending money on anymore because it gets power crept so quickly. I'm sure the next month's characters will be twice as strong. Knowing that game. They're gonna be like twice as strong, and their supers will be like 10 minutes long. So, you need to cough up $300 to get them 4 times, and then you have to get their cards. You're not getting all that for free. Not at the rate that they put them out. It's just not happening. And that's why I stopped.
All right, let's do it.
Love this track. People actually like watching me play KOF All-Star. I thought it was probably pretty boring to watch. Especially towards the end. I started playing less and less, and then I just uninstalled it. Had someone come in here and ask if I was coming back to it. But that era of the channel is over. I think the games I play now, service games, are more interesting. Pinnacle and PGR. Pinnacle is not Pinnacle, but PGR is pretty boring to watch right now. Just because it's doing the same thing for like 10 minutes. That's it. I think KOF was definitely more comfy to watch because I was on it for longer. PGR is pretty boring to watch from a spectator standpoint. At least right now. They add more content on the week. I watched a friend of mine who I met through KOF All-Star. I watch him on Twitch a lot, and I told him I quit, and he was like, "So you're free?" I'm like, "Yeah, free." No hard feelings. I just stopped playing. I just decided to uninstall one day. Pinnacle combat basically is just DMC5 combat, but has a different control scheme. The control scheme is mostly good. It's a lot easier on your hands. A lot less needing to have like 8 fingers to 4 hands to style switch and stuff. That part of it is really nice. The main flaw of Pinnacle's combat is overlapping inputs. Certain things have the exact same input, but you have to hold the button down or mash it. And sometimes it can lead to getting a move you don't want. I'm sure that's something they'll improve later on. I think the control scheme is objectively better outside of the input overlaps. Most moves you have quicker access to. It's a lot easier on my hands. I've got really bad cramps playing DMC in my younger years. Playing Nero on floor, having to hold the button down all the time, used to get horrible cramps. I like that the control scheme for Pinnacle seems to be actually designed for normal human beings and not X-Men or something. I like that aspect of it, but it definitely is flawed. It's never fun when you can't get a move to come out because it has some overlapping into it, but it's a relatively minor issue. But in terms of games on that platform, like that's hands down the best. There's also some balance issues too. Projectile spam enemies in that game are the most infuriating thing, because the game does not follow the rules of the original games, where they can't attack you unless they actually started an attack on screen. They can just hit you off screen at any time, and it feels very unfair. There's only one humanoid boss, and he's really janky to fight. Doesn't feel anywhere near as good as like Kratos or Virgil. There's definitely some jank there, but it's nothing that they can't fix with updates. I'm sure they will. They have a really good foundation, better than a lot of the other service games do. Action combat. They have that going for them. Like the way KOF All-Star is right now, they can't ever have it be a beat 'em up anymore. It's just not going to be one. There's been too much power creep, there's too much hyper armor, there's too many busted characters. Like, it's never gonna be a beat 'em up anymore. It was at the start, but then it stopped being one. Pinnacle of Combat won't have that problem. Pretty much been a character action game from the start. Oh, good night, James. Get some sleep, man. No, they probably will at some point. Capcom's still recovering from all the stupid stuff they did in the PS3 360 era. All those outsourced reboots that nobody wanted. The company is doing a lot better now. They realize that making something like this costs like a fraction of what it costs to like make a Resident Evil or a Monster Hunter. They can still make money. Street Sport was made by a very small team. Comparatively small budget. It's not a matter of if, it's when. I think Mega Man 11 really proved that to them. Obviously a lower budget, shorter dev cycle kind of game, but sold a lot of copies. You don't need AAA budgets for dev cycles for everything they make. Money makers, yes, but they can still make money off smaller stuff. Finally starting to realize that. After all those years of no Mega Man and DMC. They obviously spent a ton making DMC 5. That's the epitome of a AAA game. Just like, unlike most AAA games, it actually has good gameplay. They spent a ton on that game. Still turned a profit.
Yeah!
And Mega Man 11 did really well, so did the Mega Man collections too. Those sold a ton of copies. Made them realize, like, hey, not every game we make needs a $200 million budget and 5 years of dev time. We can put out a decent game that, you know, doesn't look as great. Maybe it doesn't have as many features. Maybe it's a more old-style game where, you know, the replay value is like speed runs and 1 credit clears and stuff, and not like having 800 characters and super long, really high production value campaigns. You could just make a 2D platformer like Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11 actually did change the formula quite a bit. It's actually surprising how much they changed with that game. You would have thought that they would have played it safe, but they added like whole like bullet time and Mega Man X charge weapons to it and shit. They actually did a lot more with that game than I thought they would. I definitely think Mega Man, the base series, the original series, definitely got really stale. Especially when they did 9 and 10. 9 and 10 are good games in their own right, but I don't know, just playing them. I remember when 9 came out, people hated. A lot of people were really apprehensive towards them using the old sprites again, because they already used those sprites so much. The problem with 9 was that they took out like the sliding and the charging and stuff, so it just felt like playing Mega Man 2 again with new sprites, new content. It kind of felt like a ROM hack. Which wasn't, you know, entirely a bad thing. Mega Man 9 is a really good game. It's just, you know, you come back after that long not making one, and, you know, it's just the same thing you played in the Nintendo era. I'm really glad they tried to push the envelope with 11. It's not a very good-looking game. It definitely does look very low budget, but I like that they tried to do something different with it, because the classic Mega Man side of the franchise has been really stale for a long time. And 9 and 10 were like the only games coming out, and both of them just felt like a real big step back. Mega Man 8 didn't feel that great to control, but it had beautiful pixel art, CD quality music. You know, it actually looked like, okay, you're playing like the new era of Mega Man, but then that's all they made. They made one game like that. And then they went back to the NES sprites again. It was a really weird flex. I remember when 9 got announced, a lot of people hated it. Just the fact that they went back to those old sprites again, and they did like 2 games like that. Instead of the gameplay changing, it actually like regressed. They took out all the stuff from like 7 and 8 and Rockman and Forte. All that was gone. I'm glad that 11 was, there was a big gap between 10 and 11. It was like 9 years or something. It was a really long time. I'm glad that when they did make another one, that they did something different with it. There's lots of franchises that have that problem. Lots of genres that have that problem too. Like all the indie platformers that are just Mario but worse. All the new beat 'em ups that come out that are just, you know, they're like Double Dragon. It's just punch and jump, and there's nothing really interesting about them. It makes you feel like this game needs to exist over just You know, if you just want that old 80s gameplay, like pre-Final Fight beat 'em ups, you just go play those games again. It's weird that that happens so much, but it's definitely very common. There's a lot of beat 'em ups coming out. It's just most of them are just punch and jump, so it doesn't really feel like there's any reason to play them. You could just play the old games again. Yeah, I think they will make another X game because the X collection sold a lot of copies. They sold a lot of copies of that, even though the ports of those are pretty bad. They sold a ton of copies. They probably will make another one now that they realize they don't need. Not every game they needs to put out they put out needs to be like a AAA $200 million masterpiece. Those ports are actually pretty bad, but just the fact that they're games that so many people grew up with in various methods. Some people on real hardware, some people on emulation, uh, or like hand-me-downs from friends or siblings or whatever. A lot of people grew up with those games, and the fact that you can just play them on modern consoles, despite them being pretty shitty ports, it overrides it for most people. It sold a lot. The X collection has a ton of input lag. It's really bad. Nobody really patched it either. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Uh, I wanted to play some Godfall tonight, but I got sidetracked by Innocence R, and then I started screwing around with KOF All-Star and remembering why I quit that game, and I don't really have time to play a grindy game right now. I'm getting pretty tired. Uh, I do have some errands to run today. After I get that done, I'll probably do a house stream. Probably play some Godfall, and I don't want to do the LMBS memorial service just yet because I'm finishing Innocence R right now. That got an English patch. I've been playing through that. I think I've got like another 1 or 2 sessions of that game before I finish it. So after that, I will start working on the LMBS memorial service. Until then, I will see you guys later today, most likely in the morning or afternoon. Thanks for watching.